Hello, bonjour, Savan. How are we today? It is Wednesday, December 31st, 2025, here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the beautiful frozen shores of Lake Huron. Coming on today because of a dream I had this morning, just before I woke up. And I remembered it. In fact, I wasn't liking the dream, so I pulled myself out actually, and I ended the dream. I'm just getting the hang of how to do this lately, and so I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I wasn't liking it, so I thought, I've had enough, and so I'm gonna stop it, and I'm gonna wake up, and that's exactly what I did. I went into meditation, so I did muse about it, but bottom line, I think there were a lot of messages for us at not only the individual but a collective level as well. So I'm going to go through the dream, but I first of all wanted to mention how difficult it's been to get through this last week of December. Who knew? I had no idea, did not see it coming. It's just been incredibly painful. Trauma memories were coming up. Physically, I was trapped because we had a freezing rainstorm and it iced over everything, which I did mention previously. But it takes quite a while for that ice to melt and go away, and then it snowed again, and then it's just been up to 100-kilometer-an-hour winds. It's just been nasty here. I don't know where you live, if it was better. Hopefully it was. But I couldn't get out. I haven't been out for a walk for a long time. I think the 25th was the last time I had an actual normal walk outside, out and about, down to the lake. So it's been difficult. I felt trapped. And that was the word that kept coming back. Trapped, trapped, trapped. And after I spent some time feeling that emotion, I don't like feeling trapped. I don't think anybody does. It's not pleasant. So then I started to think, okay, why am I so upset about feeling trapped? There must be some past life, parallel life, childhood memory, trauma. There's got to be something there for me to be feeling this, and it's not going away. Why am I feeling trapped in the first place? Because actually, I really wasn't the whole time. I discovered that some of the roads that I thought were super duper bad, that I couldn't drive my car out on, let alone walk, were actually not as bad as what I thought. So if I really had wanted to, I really think I could have gotten out. But I went through that experience of feeling that I can't walk out of here due to the ice. I can't drive out of here. We had some flooding, and then it froze, and then it snowed, and freezing rain. Like, it's just been pretty much the worst kind of weather you could think of that could actually trap you indoors. And I was so upset about it in this last week that I was thinking, I had a freer time during COVID. I at least got out every day and went for a walk. And I could take the car out. We were allowed to get out within a certain radius. Do you remember that? Yeah. And within that radius, I could get over to, Sandbanks Park, if there are any of you still with me here from that time period. So, because I could get out every day, I was fine. But this feeling that I can't even get out the front door, let alone the back door, it's not a pleasant feeling. So, in my dream this morning, I'm in a typical scenario that I have actually talked about before, and I have experienced it. Every time I sort of graduate a level, I see myself in the dream state in a classroom, usually in some type of school. It could be an old high school. It's usually a college or a university kind of setting. This time it was in a gigantic room. It was just a room. I didn't see it as a college, a university, or regular school. It was just one large rectangular room. So a large space, whole bunch of desks, whole bunch of people. Seemed to be all different types of people. And I was sitting at one of the desks and I'm doing the test. I have a test. And as I'm doing the test, instead of it being nice and quiet like it usually is when you write a test, everybody was talking. Everybody was doing something. There was one lady who had brought in a toaster, and she was making toast, and she sliced up a tomato and she put tomato slices in the toaster. And I'm looking at this and I'm distracted by that, and people were chatting and laughing and talking and socializing, and then there were some, and they were way, way off at the front of the room, off in a corner, and I could barely see them. And these were people who had their books, because we were given like a book to do this test. You open the page, okay, do this, do this. And I'm looking at their books, and their books are thick, they're huge. So I'm looking at my book, and it's not that big, but the more I answer the questions in the book, the bigger the book is getting. So I'm watching it getting larger and larger and larger before my eyes, thinking, there's too many pages in this test for me to complete. I'm not going to get it done in time. So I'm looking at these people up at the front of the room, off in that kind of darkened little corner. I couldn't really see very well who they were or what they were doing, but I felt their energy, and they were very calm, unlike myself. They already had their books almost done. There were some parts of these books that you had to actually color, like with, I don't know, colored pencils or crayons or something. And I hadn't even gotten to that part where I got to color, my pages in my book later on towards the end of the book. So as I tuned in to these other beings who were just putting the final touches on their books, they were finishing it up. They knew they had it. They knew. There was no question. They'd been filling out their books for a very long period of time. And I was thinking to myself, how did they do that? Because I just arrived to do my test. How long have they been there? Because they had it made. Their book was pretty much already done, if not already done, and they were just waiting for the bell to go off to say, okay, your time is up. Now you can leave. So I go back and I'm focusing on the questions and one after the other, and I finally just stopped. I looked around and I thought, there's this distraction with this lady trying to toast tomato slices. Like, do you not know what's going to happen? To these people are laughing and joking and carrying on, and it's like, do you not take this seriously? And I just couldn't concentrate. And I was looking around for somebody like the person who was running the test, like, can you just quiet everybody down so I can concentrate and finish my test? And I couldn't do it. I realized these people up at the front of the room already had it made. They'd made the grade. And they could easily finish it, no matter what was going on around them. And it was almost like they were enclosed off in their own little alcove or something where they weren't being bothered. But I was right in the middle of it. Distraction, distraction, distraction. And I finally gave up in frustration, and I just, threw my pen or pencil down, whatever it was. And I just said, I can't do this. I can't do this test. There's no peace and quiet here. It's all distraction. How am I supposed to concentrate and do this? I can't even think for all the noise. So at that point, I started to wake up. I started to come out of the dream. You can call it that. It's one of my visions. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm in one of my visions and I'm not liking it. I think I'll wake up now. So I woke myself up. And when I came out of it, then I went into meditation. I'm asking, like, what's this all about? Am I not passing my own test? And the thought came up about being trapped and how I felt trapped. And then I started to laugh because I realized I created my own trap here. So I can uncreate it anytime I want to. So I said, fine, I'm going to dissolve it. No more trap. And it's like, then I woke up. Then I really woke up. But I was also seeing, there was a part of when I was in the dream, which probably helped me to wake myself up. There was a scene from the movie, the Divergent series. They made 3 movies. There was a book. There were supposed to be 4 movies, but because the guy who had created the first few movies had so deviated from the whole plot of the book, and I guess the lady who wrote it let him for some reason, that they couldn't even do a 4th movie because it was so off track that, it would have had nothing to do with the book, the plot in the first place. So that's too bad. I really like those series. But I've referred to that one movie where our heroine is being put through the ringer. She's being tested. And she's in this box. It looks like it's glass. I don't know, maybe it's plexiglass, but it's see-through. And it's this huge rectangular structure that she's in, and they start filling it with water. This is her test. She has to figure out how to get out of the box, only there's no way of getting out of the box. So as she's watching it, there's a tube that comes in, and it starts filling up with water. And she's panicking. She's trying to, break the walls down. She can't. She can't do that. So she's up near the top now. She's only got a few more breaths left. Then she sinks down into the water. She's totally covered in the water. And then she thinks, this isn't real. And she puts a hand on one of the glass walls. And she's looking at it and she's thinking, this isn't real. And as she's thinking it, because she knows this to be true, it starts to crack. Pretty soon it cracks open, she falls out, all the water goes out. And that's what I saw in my dream. So I was giving myself a picture that I can relate to here and now, that this is not real. None of this is real. So these self-imposed traps that we've been living through are not real. They don't actually exist. They exist in the mind only. So you can say, I'm done with my test. I passed my test. I know I made my own test for myself. I know I made my own trap. And so I release myself from my trap. And that's my test. I passed my test. Because the only one that's trapping your thought waves is you. So give yourself a break. Let loose. Release it. That's our message. That's what I'm hearing. That's our message for the new year to begin. And we're looking at, we know this is all made up numbers and everything, but it is what it is, so we work with what we've got. We work with the parameters here. 2026, which of course they falsely say it's at midnight tonight. You know, spring is the new year. But anyway, let's just go with it. This is the play, this is the game, so this is the structure of thought here. So at midnight tonight, January 1st supposedly rolls in 2026. And this is our new year. And from now on, or from then on, however you want to view it, this is going to dictate the new semblance of thought here on your world and on your planet. You're going to be able to divulge the truth from the lie. You're going to be able to separate. You're going to be able to see it. You're going to know it, understand it, feel it, discern it. You got it. Oh, that's what's really going on. It's not real. Let that sink in. It may take some time for all your little networks and neurons and everything to flash on and understand this concept that we are the creators of our own light. We are the creators of our own life. We don't have to fall victim to other people's dark of night, because they get to create it if they want to. If they want to be creating a dark of night episode for themselves and their world and their planet, they can. We do not have to participate in that anymore. The new one's already been, I'm hearing it as strung for us. It's something about string theory. I don't know. I'm not a physicist. Anyway, it's kind of sort of what I'm hearing. It's all fake. Make no mistake. But 2025, numerologically, as we said before, is a 9. It's a closing out of a chapter. 2025, wasn't the most fun year in the world, was it? 2026 is hearing it as a revelatory, nation uplifting time. That's probably not English, very good English, but that's the gist of it. It's like this new creative, abundant ability structure that's being set on your new world, your new planet, your new frequency, your new vibrational codes that are coming in now from off-world. As we already know, I'm sure you're following the Schumann resonance, 3-eye atlas, the solar flares, etc., 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 galactic center, our central sun. You got to learn about all that stuff. If you don't, it'll help you to understand things a little bit better at our quantum field reality system of thought. And if these words are words you're not familiar with, then, go research them. There's lots of people out there who put out videos who can explain it much better than I. Because that's not our job here. Our job, our mission is very different. It's to teach and help you and us and everyone to understand the symptoms and the symptomology, is that a word, of our past history that does not last through to our future. Right? We're timeline coordinators here. We're working through past lines of time, coordinating the different downlines and expediting that. All kinds of weird words today, to a new higher divine timeline. Well, that's our job right now anyway. Yeah, we're helping you get through this field of thought, because this is a whole new way of viewing things, whole new operating system, a whole new way of running this body or these bodies of light now. It's all very different. It's all very consequential. So the divisions of separations have already been made. You've been given an upgrade and you're no longer a slave. I like that. I'm liking the information. I wasn't liking my dream too much, but I get it. We are creating our own new reality. This is a new world, a new timeline, new divine line of time. And the separation has been to unwind the old, outdated, outmoded lines of time and to circulate any of them that can shift into the higher divine timelines, to work through that, get through the shift, the transition, that shift interdimensionally, conscious, awarely, And now we are projecting our new line of time. So 2026 is a 1, 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 6 is 10, 1 and 0 is 1. That's how you do that in numerology. It's a 1 year. 1 year, in case you don't know, is a beginning year. It's a new year. You have a new start, a fresh start, a new beginning. It's a new beginning of creation. What do you want? Create what you want. We've talked about this for years now. Okay? Out with the old, in with the new. We've labored long enough in the in-between worlds of thought. So this is a new thought. This is a new diamond line of time. This is a new genetic prime directive on time. This is our new inheritance of a new line. It's a genetic upgrade. It's new genetic material. It's new DNA. It's a new way of living, of thinking, of being, of prospering. We talked about this since, I don't know, so long I can't even remember when the first time we started talking about this. I think I was back in Barrie at the time. That was quite a while ago. So we're surrendering to our higher light. We've passed our tests. This is our book of light, our book of life. This is our new directional guidance system kicking in. Follow that flow, not the irregular flow, the low flow. If the darker light beings so wish, they can create their own darker line of time. It's going to be more ego-driven, in other words. That's all that means. You follow the lower self or the ego self rather than the higher self, and so on and so on. We've talked about this. Just don't want to keep repeating it, but I've got to say it if I keep hearing it. So we are genetically altered now. We have a new bandwidth of time now. We have a new frequency light, a diamond mind. We're crystalline, okay? Out with the old, in with the new. Carbon dating, past, it's old. I like keeping up with the new. How about you? So this has been and is still to a certain point a bit of a dangerous timeline where we kind of wiggle back and forth. Third dimensional conscious, 5, 6, back to, you're all over the place. You get the picture. Back and forth, up and down, all around, all over the place. So different now. Don't have to do that now. We've been released from the prison of our mind, of the trap and the fear. It's no longer here. We're generationally clear. So all that trauma stuff been going through, all the memories coming up, the releasing. I remember those times and places and dates, and I'm okay. I can let that go now. I've survived it. I've gone through the recall of it. I'm moving on. I got this. I'm clean and clear. My magnetics are steering me clear now. A higher frequency line of time. And more devotional energy now for our new prime directive on time, which is divine. So class is done. Class is out. We passed our own test. Congratulations. We get to shift in up and out. There is no doubt. Okay. Is there anything else? Nope, that's what our message was talking about. Okay. Well, I'm going to go. For whatever you're doing this evening, or maybe not doing, whether you go out and party or stay in and party, or just have a nice little reflective moment by yourself, of yourself, for yourself. Sitting with your cats, your dogs, your pets. Enjoy the rhythm of the light. We're going to be burning very bright. God bless. We give you peace, love, and light. We are speaking to you from our higher angelic might. We bless the night. Okay. Got to move through the dark to get to the light, right? You got to go through all those old memories. You got to go through all those old rhythms. Test yourself time and again. Prove to yourself, yeah, I can do it. I did it. I'm done. And we're out of here. We're on the run. Okay, that's my light team. My fun team. That's how they finish everything up during a session. We're on the run. Okay, we're done. Blessings. Take care of yourselves and others. You know, we are working through this time, so if you do want to book an appointment with us, you can go to the website, www.healingourenergy.ca, and book your appointment there. All right, we shall touch base with you another day. And we'll continue on with our messages from higher spirit light. All right. Bye for now.